Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to St. Michael's e-learning classes. My name is Francis sir, and today we will be studying chapter number 6 of Social Science for Standard 5. And the name of the chapter is Climate Zones of the Earth. So let's read and understand this chapter. Weather and climate. Weather refers to the atmospheric conditions at a place for a short period. Climate of a region is the atmospheric conditions experienced over a long period. Weather is temporary and changes often, but climate remains stable over a long period. Moreover, weather prevails over a small area like a city, and climate prevails over a large area like a country. Yes, that is right. Weather, on one hand, it refers to the atmospheric conditions at a place for a short period. So when we have a certain effect on the climate for a short period, it is termed as weather. But on the other hand, when we have the climatic conditions of a place which is lasting for a long time, we call it as climate. And weather is temporary. So temporary means it is not fixed, it is changing again and again. But climate, it is not changing temporary, that is, it is lasting for a long period of time. Also, whether it happens over a small area like a city, like currently in our city Betia, we have rainy season. Now this is the weather which is happening for a short time, but climate, it prevails over a large area. Large area means like a large state or a large place or a country. Both weather and climate are closely interrelated, as weather is part of a climate. So remember, my dear students, weather and climate, they are interconnected, but weather, it is a part of a climate. Several factors determine the daily weather of a place. Some of these factors are temperature, air pressure, wind, humidity, precipitation, sunshine, and cloud cover. So these are the factors which are affecting the weather and climate. These are recorded daily to forecast the weather of a place. The climate of an area is determined on the basis of the weather condition of that place for a longer period of time. Changes in climate changes the season in a place. In India, we experience 5 main seasons. They are summer, winter, monsoon, spring, and autumn. So changes in climate, it affects the seasons of a place. And in India, we have 5 main seasons, my dear students. They are summer, winter, monsoon, spring, and autumn. Now let's see what are the factors which are affecting the climate or which are controlling the climate. There are different factors affecting the climate of a place. First, we come to temperature and latitude. Temperature is one of the prime determinants of climate. Temperature depends on the heat received from the sun. The more exposed an area is to the rays of the sun, the higher is its temperature, and vice versa. So temperature, it depends on the heat which we receive from the sun. If we are very close, or if we are very much exposed to the rays of the sun, the temperature will be very much high. But the more we are away from the sun, the temperature will be cool and the temperature will not be high. Equatorial regions experience extreme climate. It is because these regions receive direct rays of the sun. These rays are intense, so we feel very hot and sweaty in this region. When we move away from the equator, the climate becomes moderate. It is cold at the poles. This is because the places located in this belt receive oblique rays of the sun and are spread out over a large area. So it is less hot in these regions. So my dear students, we must understand that equatorial regions, since they are very much close to the sun, that's why it is, these equatorial regions are very much hot. It is very much sweaty and the temperature is very much uncomfortable. But if we move away from the equator, the climate becomes moderate. Moderate means it is cool and it is very much cold at the poles. Why? Because they are towards the extreme part of the earth. And because of this, it does not receive the direct rays of the sun, rather oblique. Oblique means slanted. That's why it is less hot in the polar regions and more hot in the equatorial regions. Now let's see the second factor, prevailing winds. The temperature prevalent in a place governs the flow of winds. Winds blows from a cool place to a hot place. Yes, when wind blows, it blows from a cool place to a hot place. So the winds also it plays an important role in controlling the climate. Now next we come to sea breeze and land breeze. During the daytime, land becomes hotter as compared to sea. This causes the wind above land to become warm. Since the sea is cooler than land during daytime, the wind above the sea is also cooler. The warm wind above the land rises high in the air because it is light in weight. This makes room for cold air which gushes in from the sea. This is known as sea breeze. It carries moisture which makes the land cool. So, what is sea breeze? During the daytime, when the land becomes hotter, the wind from the land, it blows away during the daytime, and the wind from the sea, it comes towards the land and takes its place. So this makes the air cool towards the land, and since the cold air is coming from the sea, this is known as a sea breeze. It makes the land cool. Now, during the night, land cools quicker than the sea. So, the air above it also cools down and becomes dense. As a result, a high pressure is formed. This causes the winds to blow outward towards the sea. This is known as land breeze. So, we experience sea breeze in the daytime and land breeze in the evenings in the coastal regions. So, in the night time, what happens? The land cools quicker than the sea. So, the wind from the land, it moves towards the sea, and this process is known as land breeze. So in the daytime we experience sea breeze, and in the night time or in the evenings we experience land breeze. Now let's see the third factor which affects climates. It is moisture. Moisture causes humidity and makes a place cooler. The closer a place is to the sea, the more cool and humid it is, and vice versa. Humidity affects the climate of a place as it causes rainfall. In cold regions, humidity causes rainfall. The humidity of a place depends on factors such as the distance of the place from the sea and the direction of winds. As a result, coastal areas are more humid than areas which are far from sea. So yes, moisture causes humidity. Now what do you mean by humidity? Humidity means the amount of water vapor present in air. It also plays an important role because it makes a place cooler. The more closer we are towards the sea, the more comfortable and cool we feel. And humidity also affects the climate of a place as it causes rainfall. In cold areas, humidity causes snowfall. So in cold areas, humidity does not cause rainfall, rather it causes snowfall. And the humidity of a place, it depends on the factors such as the distance of the place from the sea and the direction of the winds. Now let's see the fourth factor, which is altitude, which means height. Like humidity, altitude also inverts the impact of heat. As the heat increases, the temperature falls and vice versa. This because the air, while rising from the sea level, becomes lighter and thinner as it climbs higher. This causes it to lose its heat carrying capacity. So mountain regions enjoy a cooler climate as compared to the plain regions throughout the year. This is the reason that hill station becomes popular during summer. So altitude means the height, as I've already told my dear students. It also affects the climate because as the height increases, that is, as the altitude increases, the temperature falls and vice versa. So that's why in hilly station, since the height is too much, that's why we don't experience humidity or heat. Rather, we experience a very cool temperature, a very cool climate. That is why in hilly stations, people go and enjoy during summer times when the temperature is very much high inland but not towards the mountain regions. Now let's study the climate zones. So far we have studied what are the factors affecting the climate, my dear students. Now we'll understand what are the climate zones found on the earth. The areas with similar climatic conditions are grouped together as the climate zones. The earth has three climatic or heat zones: Each of these is spread symmetrically across the northern and the southern hemisphere. So my dear students, we must understand that in our earth we have three climatic zones, or we call it as heat zones. That is, the first is the torrid zone, second is the temperate zone, and third is the frigid zone. Let's understand these three zones respectively. First we come to torrid zone. Torrid zone is also known as the equatorial zone. It extends from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn. North torrid zone and south torrid zones are its two divisions lying to the north and to the south of the equator respectively. It is the hottest zone on earth. So remember, my students, torrid zone is the hottest zone of the earth because it extends from the Tropic of Cancer and to the Tropic of Capricorn. As you can see in the small diagram which we have towards the topmost sections, that is in this particular section where my finger is lying, and we have the two zones, that is the north torrid zone and south torrid zone, and it experiences the hottest zone of the earth. It is because it receives direct rays of the sun throughout the year. This makes the weather hot, humid and rainy throughout the year. Sahara Desert and Amazon rainforest are located in this belt. So in torrid zones, the climate is very hot, humid and rainy throughout the year. Sahara Desert and Amazon rainforest are located in this belt. Now we come to the second zone, that is temperate zone. Temperate zone extends from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. These are also known as north temperate zone and the south temperate zone. So temperate zone extends from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, that is in the northern side, and from the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. And this particular zone is also known as temperate zone or and the south temperate zone respectively. So there are two names of this particular zones. One is north temperate zone and second is south temperate zone. This belt has a moderate climate which is neither too hot nor too cold. So in temperate zone the temperature is very much soothing and it is very much you can say we can enjoy it because it is neither too hot nor too cold. It is because it receives oblique rays of the sun. So as already told to you, my dear students, oblique means this particular zone, temperate zone, it receives not the direct rays but rather the slanting rays of the sun. That is why in this place it is neither too hot nor too cold. Prairies in North America, pampas in South America, and the steppes of Europe and Asia, and velds in Africa are a few grasslands that are found in this region. So in this in the temperate zones, prairies in North America, pampas in South America, the steppes of Europe and Asia, and velds in Africa are a few grasslands which are found in this particular zone, that is temperate zone. Let's see the last zone, that is the frigid zone. Frigid zone extends from the Arctic Circle to the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and from the Antarctic Circle to the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. So frigid zone, as you can understand from this particular diagram, it is located from the Antarctic Circle to the north in the northern hemisphere and from the Antarctic Circle to the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. These zones are extremely cold. So frigid zone means these regions are extremely cold. It is very much cold and it is cold throughout the year. It is because these areas receive extremely slanted rays of the sun throughout the year. So in frigid zone, the rays of the sun are very much slanted. So it is not at all hot, rather it is cold. These regions are covered with permanent ice and experience 6 months of day and 6 months of night in summer and winter respectively. So in these regions, they are totally covered with permanent ice, which means that type of ice which cannot be broken easily, nor it can be melted easily. And it experiences 6 months of days and 6 months of nights. So in frigid zones, we experience 6 months of day and 6 months of night in summer and winter respectively. So this was all about the frigid zone. And in this way, my dear students, we have completed chapter number 6 of social science for standard 5. Now for homework, my dear students, what I want you to do is read and understand this chapter. And before I end up the class for today, I would like to tell you, my dear students, that very soon we will do the question and answers of chapter 4, chapter 5 and chapter 6 respectively. We will do it very shortly. In the meantime, you read and study chapter number 6. Thank you.